I'm from Toronto. I'm a creative entrepreneur, producer, and alchemist. My name is Amoye Henry. I was born in a sunny island called Jamaica, and I arrived in Canada in the late 80s. And I've been in Canada ever since. I think my family chose to migrate to Canada because my grandparents had been here and they had migrated over in the early 80s, late 70s. There was like a few different family members in different parts of Canada, particularly Toronto. My mom wanted a new life, a new opportunity to grow herself as a person. She wanted to get into healthcare and be a nurse. We were both very young together, so we kind of took the trek together. Since I came here at such a young age, I would say that my dreams and my ambitions were really just to fit in, find myself in the multicultural society that we're in, and just to create space. I've never had an opportunity to live anywhere else in a long-term way, so Canada to me is home. Canada's all I know, and this is the country that has afforded me opportunities to see the world in my own country due to all the many different cultures that we interface with on a regular basis. I didn't have any expectations because this is all I've known, and I'm grateful for that. The career that I have today and the life journey that I've taken is not what I envisioned for myself. I went to a performing arts high school. I then went on to university where I did my undergrad in political science and communications with aspirations to be a human rights lawyer. I went off that trajectory a bit and kind of found myself in arts and culture spaces and became an executive producer of a cultural arts festival called Afrochic. From there, I networked and got opportunities to now be creative entrepreneur and a producer of festivals, conferences, activations, and experiences, and working really cool opportunities here and abroad. I didn't follow the path, but like the book The Alchemist says, like you kind of don't follow the path. If you follow the direct path, you might not make it to where you're supposed to be. You kind of have to go through different cycles and different experiences to get to the journey that, you know, the creator wants you to have. I'm grateful for all the left turns, right turns, different diversions that's brought me here today. One of the most challenging things that I've encountered throughout my journey of getting to where I am today is the fact that we live in a society where, as creative entrepreneurs or creative people who have like an artistic discipline, we always have to have side hustles. There's not one person that I don't know that doesn't have multiple hustles and is doing multiple things to make ends meet. And so one of the challenges that I encountered as I've learned and grown within myself is finding my true voice. I worked in healthcare for 7.5 years. I kind of had like a successive move into government healthcare, from healthcare in the hospital setting to, you know, working for a government institution that focused on health outcomes for Ontario citizens. Meanwhile, juggling Afrochic, meanwhile managing artists, meanwhile producing content, traveling the world, and really becoming this executive producer that I'm grooming myself to be. My challenge was balancing that, finding my authentic voice and providing a space and a stage for other people to find their authentic voice and really be true to their identity. We're getting into the digital age where people are finding really creative ways how to build their business online, incorporate like e-commerce and like digital means to be able to thrive, so they don't have to kind of go into the workforce and have like all these multiple hustles. You can kind of live online but do your art, you can practice your artistic discipline. Things are shifting. For me, I chose the path of like really going the corporate world and really having my dreams on the side. So it was interesting, but it made me who I am today. I'm disciplined. I feel like I have a sense of structure. Due to my experiences in the corporate world, I think I have a certain muscle and a fearlessness to me that I don't understand the concept of no. It's just like, okay, not today, maybe next time. The corporate world and kind of working in spaces where you're the only one that looks like you and that thinks like you kind of have to maneuver, negotiate your existence in like certain spaces often. And so you kind of build strength in that. You know what I mean? You're not immersed with people who are like you all the time. It helps you carve out who you really are. I have this like humility complex that the minute I get super excited about all these accolades and things, it can all be stripped from me. So I would say what I'm most grateful for is the opportunity to create the world that I have through my thoughts, through my relationships, through planning and through people. Without people, without solid teams, without solid support systems, friends, families, mentors, I would have nothing. I would not be where I am today without people and their support. So my most proud thing that I could say I have are solid relationships. It wasn't difficult for my parents to see me throughout my life. I've always been seen by my parents. No matter what I do, I'm like an overachiever. So when I was in music, I wanted to be the best violist. Oh my gosh, I haven't played it in so long. I used to play the viola, and that's what I went to performing arts school for. And I wanted to be the best. And my parents were just like, we don't know where this kid came from, but I just was like, I'm gonna be the best. Like, nothing's gonna stop me. And then I started a business when I was 17 years old, a modeling agency called The Genesis. My parents were just so confused. They were like, how did you go from classical music and playing this, listening to Bach and Beethoven, to now this like urban modeling agency? Do you know anything about this? But I wanted to be the absolute best. I then went on to university and I joined like student union groups and what have you, and all these things, and I just wanted to be the best me possible. When I told my dad, I'm buying a house. I was in my 20s, I sold my car, I lived like a scrub for 3 years, I saved my money and I bought a house. My dad was just like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I couldn't have even gotten into real estate until I was in my 30s, and here's my kid in her mid-20s planning to buy a house. I say this to say my parents have always seen me. We haven't always seen eye to eye. We haven't always gotten along, but they have never feared that I wouldn't make them proud or try to make them proud. I didn't come this far to only come this far means that I have the blood of ancestors running through my veins. I have hundreds of family members that really oriented around each other, were oriented around our journeys and our paths that are very similar. I didn't come this far to only come this far to let my ancestors down, let my family down, let myself down. I walk with that wherever I go, and I think about that. I carry that in my spirit. I carry the concept that whatever my parents couldn't do, whatever they were limited from, I have the opportunity to try. Whatever my descendants want to do, I may not have the opportunity to do, but I can try to set the tone for something that they will later do and create an opportunity for them. So that's what I didn't come this far to only come this far means. It means legacy. It means the future. One thing that I would like to share with the youth or newcomers to Canada is Canada's the bomb. Canada is lit. Like, you can't go anywhere in the world and see the world in one country. Canada's safe. Canada is congenial, loving, respectful. People will go out of their way to help you. You won't see anybody that's like in need of help and someone will walk past them in Canada. We don't have that type of environment here. Canada is conservative, but Canada is also about pushing things forward, progressive. And I believe that documentaries like this that are providing a platform for Canadian storytellers to share their experiences are very important, and it's incredible that we have an environment, we have a country that supports this, sustains this kind of work, because it's very important for legacy creation and documentation and archival work. And Canada is supportive of that. So that's what I would like them to know. I would like to know that I'm proud to say I'm a Canadian. I'm proud to say I come from here, that this place has molded me and helped me to become the woman that I am. And when I go out into the global arena, I'm proud to say I'm Canadian. I get respect for the fact that I mention I'm Canadian because of such a good reputation this country has. So I'm Amoye Henry, and I didn't come this far to only come this far.
Didn't come this far to only come this far.